So I asked you guys, which of these are my favorite stretches would you like to learn? And you people told me that you would much rather learn the pancake fold. So this is what we're going to be doing today. If you are ready, we'll get right into it. Now, there is one major exercise that we can do that is very effective for the pancake fold and in general for almost anything mobility related when it comes to the lower body, and that's going to be the cossack squat. The cossack squat is basically just a side squat, but depending on how we do it, we're going to have different musculature being stretched, and all it takes to switch it up is switching the position of our feet. Most people will not be able to go into a full cossack, and that is okay. We're gonna start with short range of motion, which means one leg is bending, one leg is staying straight, and we're turning it up. Because once we do turn it up, we have a nice little stretch in our posterior chain in our legs. If, however, we leave our foot pointing forward and flat on the ground, we have more of a stretch on the inside of our. We're gonna, over time, increase the range of motion, turning the foot up. And once we have the full range of motion to go into a deep cossack squat, now we are gonna add the foot flattening. Keep the foot flat, switch from one side to the other. You're gonna notice this is gonna be a little bit more mobility dominant, and from here we're gonna increase the range of motion even more, because the more range of motion we have with this exercise, the easier it's gonna be for us to get into a full-on pancake fold. So what I want you to do is, when you switch positions, you're gonna additionally use your arm to push this leg outwards, adding a nice little extra stretch here, and you're gonna point your foot out as far as you can. So we're opening up just a little bit more. And other side, push out and push out. Now there is a second thing we can do to increase the level of stretch that we get, and that is full contact cossack squats, which most people are not going to see because they are very intense when it comes to stretching. So what we want to do for those is basically, now we are in an upright cossack, we're going to bring our knee down, we're going to bring the leg into full contact with the ground, pulling our toes in, of course, because that is going to stretch our Achilles tendon, our gastrocnemius, and our soleus, as well as the insertions to our biceps femoris, meaning the backside of our legs. And switch it up one more time. Full contact cossacks. Left side, right side. And now you're going to notice we're almost basically in a pancake. If this leg was straight, all we would need to do is move forward with our upper body, which is what we're going to be doing now additionally. So when we have the mobility for the full cossack here, all we're going to do is bring our head down to the ground and switch it up. Other side, full contact cossack and head down. Switch it up and head down. Switch it up and head down. This is going to be by far the most effective exercise, and if you only do this exercise by itself, the other exercises that we're doing are just going to be complementary, because this one is basically the king of all pancake exercises. Now, to advance much quicker when it comes to our mobility work, we can add a load. Loaded mobility work is highly efficient. The only thing that you need to be careful with is listening to your body, seeing if what you are feeling is the stress of a stretch, or if you're actually having pain maybe in your hip joints or in your knee insertions. So be very careful with that. If you feel any sort of joint pain, that is a good sign that you are overdoing it. But we're going to grab a dumbbell or a kettlebell overhead from here and basically down to our chest and move forward. Keep your legs extended, and now careful, pull your toes in, of course, because we want to have as much pull on our posterior chain as possible. Sit up, extend, bring it down, move forward. Now, the further forward you bring the weight, the more it's going to pull your body down. So having it here at stomach height is going to do a lot less than having it here at head height or even here. The only thing is you're not allowed to put it down. So sit up, extend, pull in, and bend forward. Sit up, extend, pull in, and bend forward. This is highly effective. Now, what we also need for the pancake is good core strength, because we're gonna use compression strength, meaning our ability to pull our body down and forward to go into the full pancake fold. So you're gonna grab yourself a resistance band if you have one, and you're gonna sit like so, and all we wanna do, it's gonna be a really short range of motion, but we basically just wanna compress and sit up. What you are doing is you're training the antagonists of the muscles you wanna stretch, meaning your quadriceps, your hip flexors, and your abdominals to contract. And what happens then is a phenomenon I've talked about multiple times called reciprocal inhibition. When you flex a muscle, its antagonist has to relax automatically. Because if you flex your biceps and your triceps does not relax, you're gonna rip a tendon and you're gonna hurt yourself. So this is a mechanism we can use to our advantage. You're gonna flex and pull down, which automatically releases the backside of your legs and your glutes and your lower back, which is gonna give us a nice little benefit when we get into the pancake itself. Now, the final exercise I have on this list for you before we get into the pancake itself is gonna be dynamic switches from one side to the other. Now, for one, we want to have the mobility to grab our toes. If you do not have that, you can grab your leg from here. It doesn't matter where you grab it, but it is more about moving from one side to the other. First of all, we want to have really long movements, meaning we want to pull our upper body as close to the leg as possible, because we need enough glute mobility and lumbar mobility for the pancake fold. So you're gonna pull in here, you're gonna sit up, long movements to the other side, pull in, sit up, long movement to the other side, and repeat multiple times. And now we have made it to the pancake itself. Two ways to go about this. One, using reciprocal inhibition. As we said before, you're going to actively flex your quads, your hip flexors, your abdominals, and pull your body down. You're going to notice with this one, it takes a lot of strength and a little bit more active effort to get into this position. The second thing you can do, by now, you're gonna have the mobility to grab your feet from the inside. And here we need to move down as far as possible on the insides of our feet so we can grab and pull our body closer and closer and closer. Now, the goal is to keep your back as extended as possible when you're moving down. Over time, you're gonna notice you're gonna have more hip hinge here, and you're going to be able to bring your stomach down to the ground. First, you're going to be able to touch your head. Then you're going to be able to touch your shoulders and your head. After that, you're going to be able to touch your chest to the ground. And at the very end, you're going to be able to bring your belly down, which is the level that I am working on. So I'm not quite there yet. And at the very end, every time before you release the pancake, I want you to pull your toes in. And after that, just, loosen up a little bit, limber up a little bit, sit up, close, take a deep breath, take a short break, and then we're gonna repeat. Over there, reciprocal inhibition, or using our own body strength to pull ourselves down. And there you have it, the full guide to go into a pancake fold. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Subscribe, of course, because we have new videos every single day. If you like the video, like the video. That's sadly all the time I have for you today. I still have a couple of classes to teach. Captain Cairo, peace out.